Hi everyone, it's Amanda Ellis again, and it is May the 15th, 2018. Welcome. I'm doing a few videos over the next couple of weeks just because the energy is so unstable, just to try and give some guidance, and the guidance sort of bits come in every day really. So I thought I'd share with you what Archangel Metatron, who's my main guide, has been talking about today so far. I mean, God, it's actually only 25 to 9, which is unheard of for me because I'm not a morning person at all. But it's the new moon, isn't it, today on the 15th in Taurus. I was awake probably from about 4:30, laying in bed, wide awake at 5:30 as well. I didn't really go back to sleep, to be honest, so I'm feeling a bit tired. But I think probably a few of you are feeling the same, aren't you? Those of us that are sensitive to the phases of the moon, it's just like, that was a big one last night. And of course the effects of it, I don't know when it comes into fullness, but anyway, bear with me because there's some quite important things that are going to come through on this video. What I particularly want to do on this video, I will pull some cards in terms of what's going on with the earth energies at the moment, but I've been told today to do an exercise with you, which is a Merkaba visualization to help you should you be in a situation anywhere around the world where earth changes happen. It's not to put fear into anybody, it's just to get you prepared. So if something should happen, you have a tool that you can use to keep yourself safe, to keep your family safe. And those of you that already work with Merkaba, I've already done a video on it. It's a couple of years old now, to be honest. I need to redo it, but I haven't got time to redo it this morning, so you can look at that if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't understand what Merkaba energy is. Which is effectively this energy we're going to be looking at, an electromagnetic field that is around you and every living being. And the point is that when you are within your Merkaba field, you are safe. So what Metatron is talking about is me guiding you through an exercise whereby if something should happen and the ground, for example, is shaking underfoot or something like that, you envisage your Merkaba around you, and that is present tense, that's the present time. And the Merkaba can transport you to it's like you bypass the event, effectively is what he's saying. I mean, you still experience it at human level, but you're kept safe. There is an aspect of your soul, or your soul is kept safe, and it's almost as though the Merkaba takes you from the present moment to the moment after whatever has happened, and you're sort of on safe ground again. That's what I'm being told. So it's like the Merkaba is acting as a bridge from the moment if something should happen, transporting you, because that's what Merkaba does, to the other side of the bridge, the other side of whatever the event is, and then you're on safe ground. That ground may look changed, but you are safe. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to lead up to that, if you don't mind, just so we get the energy right. So I'm just going to sit here and I want to pull some cards for you before we do that. I've got all of the Metatron element sprays here, and which are fire, earth, water, air, and cosmos. I've also got the Archangel Uriel energy here. He felt like he wanted to be here as well. Uriel is very much a guiding light, as is Metatron. And in fact, interestingly, when I run the Archangel course, and the next one is in Canada in September, if you haven't signed up, please do. With Uriel, one of the messages that comes through is he's like Metatron in that he's this warrior energy, warrior angel. And the symbolism that he gave me is an analogy or a picture in my mind, is in the UK, probably in many other places around the world, when we had a mining industry decades ago, one of the things they used to do decades ago to make sure that the mine was safe for men to actually go down, they would send a canary in a cage down the mine shaft. And if the canary came back alive, it was safe for the men to go down because there was no poisonous gas. And if the canary was dead, then the men didn't go down. So the canary acted as the one to check out whether something was safe. Not very nice for the canary, but Uriel is saying he's a bit like that. He's the one that goes in first to do a recce, to see whether it's safe. And I think that's why he's here. Excuse my voice, I'm always deeper in the morning. Never mind. It is what it is. So, I'm going to pull some cards. I also want to show you, I was drawn to show you this crystal. This crystal was given to me by Laura when I visited America a couple of years ago. And it is Petrovsky stone. Okay, you see that? And I want to tell you a little bit about this stone because it feels as though I need to hold it whilst I'm doing this video. I'm just reading what Laura said to me at the time. This stone, this Petrovsky stone, the previous owner had it for 60 years after it was purchased for her as a birthday gift. And the stone was taken from Petrovsky, is that the way you pronounce it, in Michigan, to Ontario in Canada, where it was hand cut, shaped and polished by the Iroquois, is that how you pronounce them, on the Six Nations Reserve. So it's a good 60 to 350 million year old piece of stone, and it has that energy running through it of the earth that has gone through many changes and survives intact in a transformed way. It almost looks like a spearhead, doesn't it? It looks like a spearhead. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to be holding that. I'm going to light some incense for us just to help clear the energy so we get the clearest connection to Metatron and Uriel that we can. Seeing as they've got me up so early in the morning, I need all the help I can get. Who else suffers during the moon with bad night's sleeping? Anyway, never mind. We live to fight another day. Well, that's nice. Okay. So let's pull a couple of cards. I'm actually going to put that stone there so it's on my body. I've got two decks. I've got the Native Spirit deck from Denise Lynn, and I've got the Earth Magic deck from Stephen Farmer. I'm going to go to him first, okay? And these have been on a flower of life for about 48 hours actually, and with some of my crystals just to try to energise them, which they're nicely energised now. And I'm actually going to go to Uriel. I'm going to spray Uriel. Metatron's here, obviously he's here. But Uriel wants to come in as well. So Uriel, please guide us here. And we're asking about anything we need to know about coming earth changes or just guidance from Gaia. Whatever wants to come through. I'm not going to try and direct it too much. I've also got the energy of the Green Man here. You can't see it, but I've got a painting of the Green Man in front of me. So he's here. I've got the beautiful elder behind me as well. Oh yeah, I wanted to say something. Can you see the picture of the elder behind me? So this is one that's going to be in the new Metatron Oracle deck, and actually he's card number 55, so he holds a very high vibration, and he represents the energy of red, and he represents the elders and all the wisdom that they have from many tribes of many countries. But this morning, that was another thing that happened this morning. I woke up and went into the bathroom at about 5 o'clock and was stumbling around as you do. And we've got a fan light so you can see the sky through it. And there was the strongest sunrise that I've ever seen, I think. The sun was like a blood red colour. It was beautiful, but it also felt like a sign of something. We've got that old-fashioned phrase, haven't we, about shepherd's warning. And I think I'm right in saying sunrise in the morning, shepherd's warning. So I don't know whether that links into the energy of the sea and water. We'll see. Two have just fallen out there of the deck before I pulled any cards. And that was the activation of the air elemental, wind, and also island. So the need for solitude, the need for whatever is coming, for us all to know that we are safe on an island of our own making, whilst around us the earth might be doing whatever she's going to be doing. In a way, when you go within your Merkaba, you almost are within your own island. Okay, you are within your own space. You are within, and that space belongs to you, and it is very sacred, and it does bring great solitude, great safety, and I sort of feel it's linked into that. I'm just going to put those cards there. Actually, no, hold on a minute. There's another message coming through. Solitude and activation. Those of you that watch me regularly, the video I did on Saturday where I was feeling a bit low, and I was saying I felt a bit lonely, and just triggering a lot of emotion and low mood. But actually, having come through the other side of it, I do know what it was about, and I want to share that with you because it sort of links into this. It felt that it was very much a journey of discovering that I have the strength, whatever life throws at me, I have the strength within myself to be able to cope with it. Because sometimes we look for other people to give us that strength. We look for other people, and there's nothing wrong with having support, by the way, of course there isn't, but we look for other people to have the strength, and when you don't get that support coming back, it can trigger what it did with me. It triggered this low mood and this feeling of isolation and loneliness. Even though lots of people around me, I'm talking here in my personal life really, it's not professional, in my personal life, lots of people around me, but I just had a moment of, and it felt quite victimhood as well, like no one's there for me. And that's not the truth actually, but I needed to feel that, because what it taught me was that it's okay, because I've got this strength within myself. I'm able to stand on my own and face whatever life throws at me, whatever circumstances can come to me. It was very much about a journey into selfhood. So, but it needed to come from a time of being in solitude, whether that be silence. It wasn't silence for me. I very rarely have silence in my life, unfortunately, but it was just a feeling of solitude, and it needed to be activated for me to get to the other side, to know and to truly know that I'll be okay come what may. And the thing is, we can all say, oh yeah, I know that. But sometimes you've really got to sink into it and really feel it and really question it. And that's when these energies come in to just test you. Are you okay? Do you think you'll survive? Do you think you can cope with what life throws at you? You're on your own, you know. Of course you're not, it's an illusion, but that's how it feels at the time. You're on your own. And then you dig deep and the sun comes up, a new day dawns, and you think, I made it through that night. Yeah, it's okay. I can do this. So I just wanted to share that with you, okay? Okay, Metatron, Uriel, what do we need to know, please, from this deck? May the 15th, 2018. Fire, the energy of fire and passion. love, passion and love. Blessings. Not the cards I thought were going to come out. And that's because I sense something's coming up with the earth. And I'm not the only one. Lots of us are feeling it, aren't we? We know something's coming with the earth. They're not showing me. And they're not showing me probably for good reason, because they just want me to do the protective exercise. We don't want to put fear anywhere. So this is another message that's coming through. Love, passions and blessings. So those of you that are holding out for a deeper love, finding love, rekindling love, reunion, it's here in the cards. It's here in the cards. I don't really have to explain it. It's very clear. The card of blessings, the card of passion, and the card of love. Okay. Let's go to the next deck. Let's go to Denise Lynn. This is not a deck actually that I understand that well, I have to be honest. I'll probably have to read the cards, the book. It's not one that I use that often. Just because I come more from a shamanic energy. Oh, stop it. They're having a joke with me. I was just about to say I come more from an angelic energy. Did you see what happened then? They just changed my words. I come from a more shamanic energy. They're saying, okay, being told off there. All right, I'll step into my shamanic. Oh, I'm wearing the Petrovsky stone, of course. All right, I do understand. Do you know, I actually got rejected by a top publisher for the Metatron Oracle cards. And this particular publisher was really interested, you know, for quite a while, and dangled the carrot a bit. And then at well, it felt like the 11th hour, pulled out. And one of the reasons they gave was they didn't like this painting within the deck. They didn't understand why I'd got a painting which was shamanic in energy in an angelic pack, and it was like, it doesn't work. And I stuck to my guns and said, no, it does work and it needs to be in there. And they backed out. Then, of course, another publisher came forward, Schiffer Publishing, thank you very much, love you, love the support that you're giving me in my work, who have just said, you've got free reign, you can put whatever you want in. And of course, he's there, card number 55. But isn't that a story in itself? It's what I've just said. I really believe that we all have both the angelic and the shamanic energies within us. But I still have to be reminded of that myself as well. Okay, let's go for one of Denise's cards. Which one then? I'm going to ask him which one. He's got a sense of humour too. He's saying all of them. But on the bottom of the pack, we've got Spirit of Water. I am feeling a watery energy here. I'm feeling something coming up from the water. I am feeling that. You know, we've got the card of the island, which has got water around it. We've got wind that seems to activate something. We've got the Spirit of Water. I'm going to put that one here. He's actually saying all of them because this is about studying the shamanic tradition, the wisdom of the earth, he's saying. I think he's just encouraging us on. The Wounded Healer. Yep, it's most of us. And the Ancient Forest. Okay, wow, what are we doing with here? The Wounded Healer is us. Most of us that are doing this work, most of us that are interested in this work, as healers, as therapists, as teachers, as students, have a wound within us that spurs us on to go deeper, to discover more. And I'm coming to the conclusion that's good, actually, because as soon as you have a magic wand waved over you and suddenly you're 100% better in body, mind and soul, human nature, we can be a bit lazy and we stop looking, we stop searching. I've known many great teachers with an affliction of some description, and some quite serious as well. But in each case, what spirit has taken away, spirit has then gifted back in some other shape or form through heightened ability or sense or abundance of some description. But there is a wound within us as individuals. There's a wound within the earth. I was asking about the earth. I was asking about Gaia. So the card of the wounded healer with the card of water, the spirit of water. Water coming in to wash away some wounds is what it feels like. This is my water spray. Can you see what a perfect fit it is to this card? So I'm going to spray the water elemental. And I'm seeing in my mind's eye lots of tributaries that of course run into the sea. And for some reason these tributaries are flowing into the sea, but in a very gushing way, in a faster rate than they normally would be. It's as though there's a disturbance in the water. I'm wanting just to, it's as though the wind or the energy of air, that could even mean vacuum, is creating a surge of water that is going into the pool that we call sea. And at some level, with that amount of pressure going in, I just keep wanting to do this, eventually there has to be something which then releases it back out. So the waters of the world are unsettled. What we're going to be being asked to do is whatever transpires, we are protected within our Merkaba, because we have, in essence, when we do that, we are able to enter an altered state of consciousness and enter a parallel reality, even that be for seconds or minutes or whatever it is that needs to happen to keep us safe. And in the same way, that is what fish are able to do when they go deep, 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 deep down, deeper than they normally go. Whilst on the surface something might be happening to the water, I'm seeing fish going deeper down into safety. Okay, that's something I'm seeing there. I'm seeing the gods Poseidon, is that how you pronounce it? Poseidon, with the trident. And he's like rearing up. He's very present. He's trying to command the waters of the world, trying to get balance. I'm now seeing the energy of fire, lightning, fire. What is fire saying? I'm being shown some of us literally doing a fire walk, which implies the need for courage. and the ability to put mind over matter and realise that you can do things that you never thought you could. So that implies a time coming where you are going to have to suspend what you think you can do and go into your higher self and into your own strength, which you don't know you have, I'm being told, to be able to do the equivalent of walking over fire. This doesn't have to be literal, this is symbolic. That you have that fire energy within your body to be able to deal with anything that comes forward in life. I feel we're still talking about earth changes here. And I'm being shown fire as one of the first things, which is to do with survival. So it's to do with being able to rebuild. If you take the analogy of if you went off into the woods or out into the wilderness, one of the first things that you would have to do to make sure that you are safe is to build a fire to keep predators at bay, to keep warm and to be able to cook your food on. So the fire elemental is talking about you have the ability to be able to also create fire to sustain you and to help you rebuild in the eventuality that you have to rebuild. That the tools, this is where this energy is coming in behind me, the elder, he's saying the tools that you had in past lives, and when we're going right back to living on the land, you actually still have buried within you. They are rusty. They are rusty because we've all got lazy. We all turn to, you know, a packet of food or tinned food, but we have the ability to be able to survive and sustain and thrive because it's what our ancestors did, and our ancestors live on through us. And there's definitely a coming together of many ancestors. I'm seeing this spirit of ancestors just. When I say closing in on the world, I mean that they're coming forward lovingly to help and to whisper in our ear of things that we've forgotten we can actually do if and when we need them. And what will feel like a step backwards will actually be a huge step forwards in terms of civilization. To be able to take the next step forward, which will be a huge stride for humanity, you will have to be taking a step back first. Okay? Yeah. Old structures that have existed for thousands of years will remain. I'm seeing the pyramids. And for some reason, I mean, they're not, I don't think they're old, are they? Those faces in the stone in America that have been carved out, are they of presidents even? Something along that line as well I'm seeing. Maybe it's just symbolic. Because history is important. So it's important to remember history. So historical artifacts, historical monuments, which are important for the new age which will come in, will remain as almost like flag posts isn't the right word, but it's like staging posts, something to link back into as we then build the new. I have 5 years in my head. I don't know what that means. So I'm just going to say that. Whether this is what we're talking about is within a 5-year period, I don't know. They're not saying. Fire. Anything else to be said from fire? I'm being drawn to our eyes as well with fire. the ability that's going to be coming in to see deeper, to see further, almost a bit like the owl that can see at night. Maybe this is a gift and an ability that is going to be coming in with the fifth dimensional energy, which is at the moment animals can see it in the dark. A cat sees really well at night. We can't. But it feels as though that ability is going to be gifted to us, so that we are able to see in day and in night, and we are also able to see in multi-dimensionality. We're also able to see past, present and future clearer, and we're able to see beyond the realms clearer. But this thing about night and day in terms of eyesight is coming in as well. Ancient forest. That there is a time coming, or it may be now, where we feel that we're in the forest and we can't find our way out of it. It's like we're in the thick of the forest and it's denser than it looks in this card. The trees are much closer together and it's really easy to get lost in the forest. But the message coming is be guided by the light that will come in to show you the path. The light will always be there, okay? Even in the densest forest that you find yourself in, and this is symbolic, the light will be able to pierce through the branches, the leaves, the density, and it will find you wherever you are on the ground, and it will guide you out. So it's an energy about guiding you out of somewhere which feels difficult, which feels heavy, which feels challenging, to a place that is lighter, a place where there is guidance still, and where you follow the light. Let's pull one more from that deck actually. Let's just pull one more. See what the fourth card, in fact I might pull two more. Me and my fives, I do like the five energy. So we've got Spirit of Water, we've got the Wounded Healer. I think that's us healing ourselves. But I also think it's the Earth healing her wounds as well. We've got the Ancient Forest. Medicine Woman, Medicine Man has just fallen out of the deck. Let's just see what the fifth card is. Storyteller. What is coming will be the stuff of stories that we tell our grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and their grandchildren tell their grandchildren. And it will be something of wonder. And with a story, Metatron is saying, it needs a beginning, a middle and an end. It needs some drama. It needs some hope. And it needs a happy ending, which is what this will have. But please remember that within the story that will unfold with regard to Earth changes, that there will be reflections of everything that makes up a story. There will be heroes, there will be villains, there will be light, there will be dark, there will be challenges, there will be hope, and there will be the happy ending where everything comes together and makes sense towards the end. And in the future, around campfires, we will tell these stories of what we survived and indeed what we learnt and how we thrived. It's a story of survival, but it's a story of man's unquenchable spirit. It's also interweaving spirit into that story and the presence of God. We will remember that we are all medicine men and medicine women. As the elder behind me said, that we have all the abilities, all the skills, all the talents to be able to deal with whatever life throws at us. You see what they're holding here? Okay, they're holding their, what is that called? It's not a talking stick. I'm going to look at the book. It's just because I've got this beside me. Okay, this lovely one that was made for me, which to be honest feels part wand. It's made of selenite and part talking stick, and it's a perfect bridge of angelic and shamanic energies. I'm going to hold this when we do our Merkaba work. Okay, I just want to read the card though of the medicine man and the medicine woman. Now I can't put it down, of course, now I've picked it up. Okay. Profound inner and outer healing is occurring. You are a natural healer, you're on the mend. Have faith that it's happening. You are a sacred healer. You are a medicine woman, medicine man of the soul. I think it's a call to all of us that are healers to recognise our power and our ability to be able to make such a huge, profound difference to what is to come. Every indigenous culture has a tradition of healers. Dependent on the culture, they're called medicine men or medicine women, shamans, whatever. In every tradition, they're the individuals who are able to step between worlds to gain information, wisdom, and healing energies from their spirit allies. It talks about additional healing activating within you. I won't read all of it because it's not all, I'm sure it's all relevant, but it's not what I'm called to read. Okay. I'd like to, I think now, go into our Merkaba meditation, and we'll just see what Metatron wants to bring through. Okay. So, I'm going to start with Earth, then go to Cosmos. I'm talking about my sprays here. And then I'm going to go back to Earth, because I still am feeling, I know we've had a lot of watery energy here, but there's still something here about the Earth. Because at the end of the day, even if the water does come onto the Earth, into places it shouldn't be, it will then recede back and we're left with the Earth, which is soggy. But I'm also still feeling the energy of quakes, and we've got volcanoes as well. We can't get away from this that is out there in the collective, that feels as though Gaia is just preparing us, because so many of us are sensing it. And I had an email, actually a couple of emails in from a few of you on the western coast of America overnight, just saying there have been more movements and trembles and tremors, so we know it's going on. So let's start with Earth, okay? And I'm going to hold up as well the Merkaba star. So I'd like you just to plant your feet firmly onto Earth. The thing to say about this is just a technique I'm showing you. It's a technique for you to remember, so that if anything should happen, this is something you just instantly go into, okay? And it will help to keep you safe, all right? So I'm going to take us through a scenario where something maybe has happened, all right? So we're just imagining that we are standing on the Earth, and the scenario is it's a normal day. Okay, it's a normal day. And then we start to feel the Earth move underneath us. Maybe we don't even feel the Earth move underneath us. Maybe we're like an animal that can sense that something is coming. We just feel it in our gut. We just feel it in our body. Something doesn't feel quite right. And we're seeing the signs around us from nature. And we just have a knowing. We have a deep knowing. Maybe we've been dreaming about things that are to come, but maybe for whatever reason on this particular day, you're standing on the Earth and you just feel something. You sense something. Maybe you've even seen something, or you've been told something. Maybe you've heard something on the radio, you've heard something on the television. Maybe something is actually already starting to happen, okay? And so what will happen then is that your base chakra and your Earth Star chakra, which is your anchor to Earth, is your safety, because you're human, and because you have a shadow side, and because you will have fear, because human beings always have fear. Fight and flight is still within us. It's encoded into us, and it's there for a reason. It's there to keep us safe. As soon as you sense something or hear something or know something is happening, your Earth Star chakra and your base chakra will start to feel wobbly, okay? And there will be a fear-based response in them. So as soon as you start to feel that, I want you to go straight down to the energy beneath your feet and link into your Earth Star chakra, which is about 1 foot, 2 foot beneath your actual feet. And I want you to become aware of the presence of Archangel Sandalphon, who rules the Earth Star energy. And what he's doing in that moment is he's just reminding you of your silver cord to Earth. Your silver cord to Earth. And this has been there since you were born, and will be there until you die. And this isn't your moment to pass. So seeing your silver cord, remembering that it is there, and ask Archangel Metatron just to help root it in to a safe spot within the earth, a safe and stable spot within the earth. This safe and stable spot within the earth may be many miles away. It doesn't matter where it is, and you don't need to know where it is. Just allow Sandalphon to anchor you somewhere that is safe and somewhere that is stable. You can also do this for anybody that you love, any animal that you love, and that is a given as well. So with that silver anchor put by Sandalphon somewhere safe into the earth, which is stable and secure at this point in time, you then become aware that this silver cord is quite long and it's very, very flexible. It's able to move, and it allows you great freedom to move even though you're anchored. Pull up that silver energy into your Earth Star chakra and feel it brilliant silver. Pull up the silver light then into your soles of your feet, into your ankles, into your calves, into your shins, into your knees, and allow that silver light to flow all the way up to the base chakra, which is at the back of your spine, tailbone area, until you can just feel this beautiful connection of silver linking you deep down into a safe space within Mother Earth and all the way up to the base chakra. Okay? Then become aware of a beautiful golden cord which is above your crown chakra, above your head, and again put that gold, just allow Metatron to come in now, and the golden cord links up to whichever place within the galaxy, within the cosmos, helps you to feel safe. This may be your star system, this may be a particular planet. You don't have to know where it is. Just ask Metatron to link you somewhere into the cosmos where you also feel safe. Okay? So you're aware of these two energies, silver cord linked to a safe spot on Earth by Sandalphon, and a golden cord reaching up from your crown to a much higher level of reality, plane of existence, different part of the cosmos that you feel comfortable in, that your soul's comfortable in. Okay? And then with that in place, and this can happen very quickly, it doesn't have to be something that's done, takes ages to do. You just link your silver, link your gold, and then I just want you to breathe in white light, and you're going to breathe in white light 3 times. So we're breathing in white light, we're breathing out white light, we're breathing in white light, we're breathing out white light, we're breathing in white light, we're breathing out white light, until all we can feel around us is white light. The white light is within us, and the white light is around us. And this white light goes into every single part of you. It goes into every single part of the physical body. It goes into every single part of the different layers of your aura. And you just see your aura expanding with white light, knowing also you've got your silver cord to Earth, and you've got your golden cord linked up to a safe place in the wider universe. And then Archangel Metatron, with your permission, gently activates your own Merkaba field, which is an electromagnetic field that is around you that looks like a three-dimensional Star of David. You don't need to know how this happens. Metatron comes in at the moment that you need it to happen and helps you activate it. It's made up of a upward pointing tetrahedron, a four-sided pyramid which links up to the wider universe and that beautiful golden light. And then we have a downward pointing tetrahedron that locks into it, making up the star shape, the Merkaba. And this is silver coloured and it links you down to Gaia. The two pyramids, the two tetrahedrons, lock together to form the Merkaba star. The Merkaba star expands around you until you feel yourself within it. And I'm being shown this Merkaba star as very large, much larger probably than you've felt it before. You have a lot of space within this Merkaba field. All fear has gone. And you are just within it. Feel the expansion of that, feel the peace of that. Whilst around you anything can be happening, you are safe within this space. And you surrender and you let go into Metatron's arms and you allow him to transport you within this Merkaba field to safety and to ensure safe passage through whatever is happening around you. You are assured of safe passage through whatever is happening around you. Affirm within your Merkaba, I am safe, I am safe, I am safe. Whatever time is meant to elapse now will elapse, but still that Merkaba will remain around you and it will be maintained by Archangel Metatron. Do not worry that you are taking up his time and energy. He is able to maintain anybody's Merkaba that needs assistance during this time. He takes the role of the grand orchestrator that he is and is able to be with as many people that need his assistance that ask at many points around the world. Trusting that this is so, then take yourself to a time, feeling yourself now on earth, on ground that feels more secure and stable, and we are post any event that has happened. Feel the ground now stable. It may look changed, but you are on it, you are safe, you are well, as are anybody else that you requested safe passage for. Metatron would also have activated their Merkaba. If allowed to do so. And I say if allowed to do so because Metatron understands the soul contracts that every single person has on this earth at this time. And those that are meant to stay will stay, and those that have already said they wish to leave will leave. Knowing that that is a universal law that cannot be changed, breathe into that truth. Feeling now the safety underneath you, thanking Metatron for the safe passage. You have a choice to keep your Merkaba around you for some time to help you transition, or if you feel you no longer need it, you can just ask for the geometric points of the Merkaba, the star shape, to just merge until it becomes an oval shape around you, and you're back to just being surrounded by the white light within your aura, as though you're cocooned within this white light. Whether you are now standing upon the earth within a very high vibrational auric space that is cocoon-like and filled with white light, or whether you choose to stand upon this new earth with your Merkaba still intact, wanting that, needing that, that is fine. You may now request a quality or a colour that you need around you. Maybe you need red for strength. Maybe you need blue for peace. Maybe you need green for expansion. Maybe you need yellow for joy. Whatever you request can be granted. So be it, and it is so. Coming back now to the sounds in the room. Any of you that have gone off into a deep meditative state there, just know that those words and that tool and that technique is now implanted into your bag that you have of tools. Should you require to use it, at the moment that you need it, that exercise will come back to you. Okay? That feels good. That feels very good. Move your feet, move your fingers and your toes. Drink some water. Take a nice deep breath and ground. And it's your choice really with regard to the silver cord to earth, which is going to remain anyway, whether you then wish for Sandalphon to move its position, or whether you're quite happy with the fact it's still anchored somewhere else. Okay, you have the ability to change the anchor point. But again, what I always teach is that a lot of the techniques that are out there for example, Merkaba, can be quite complicated. They certainly were in the past. But my belief, and what I've always been shown, is that at the end of the day, Metatron and Sandalphon are these very high vibrational beings of light. Metatron in particular, who's just been there since virtually this planet was created. He's seen it all. And he has the ability to help us when we need to be helped. And you don't need to have studied loads of books. If you don't understand it, you just ask him to do it for you, to activate it, okay? And he will. And I'm just really being shown this morning how important the Merkaba is to keep us safe during these times, okay? So once again, that's what it looks like. All right, so let's just spray the earth now. And she's coming through with a very beautiful message, which is that she wants you to be safe as well, is what's coming through. She wants you to be safe as well, even though there are going to be changes that happen via all the elements probably over time. None of them wish us harm. She is just doing, Gaia is just doing what she needs to do. And she wishes us well. She doesn't want us to be harmed within the process of change and evolution that has to happen. And it's almost as though she's honouring the technique that's just been given as something where it's almost like Gaia's having a communication with Metatron. It's really strange. It's like, I like that technique to keep my children safe. It's very much like a mother would say. It's almost like another energy's come in to keep my children safe, is what she's saying. Very beautiful. Let's end with Uriel. Yeah, he's just assuring us that he goes in first. He also goes in first to any scene of devastation, any scene of battle. He comes in. He's like the one that comes in and helps and clears up. He's got an energy of clearing up, which is what he does. He helps clear up legal situations, for example, but he's also able to help clear up earth energies. He's there with the person that's literally sweeping the streets, that's clearing out the water, that's rebuilding. His energy is there, is very, very strong. He's one of the warriors, basically. He's one of the warrior angels. So Uriel, Metatron, Michael as well coming in, and Sandalphon are there as 4 very powerful energies to help us through the coming days, months, weeks, years, decades. I don't know. I've not been given a time frame for it. I was just told to give you this technique today, okay? So, lots of love, everybody. I think that's it for today. Gosh, 9:30 and I've already done my first video. That's impressive for me. All right, much love. Take care and know that all is well. We're all in this together at the end of the day. And also the other thing I want to say is that should anything happen as well, don't forget that whatever part of the world experiences it, there's a huge number of light workers in other places around the world. And as soon as any siren goes off or anything happens, we're onto it, okay? We're onto it. And we would do that for you and you would do that for us. And it's really important to remember that actually this whole thing about solitude, yes, there is a lesson here in we can survive on our own, but equally we don't have to. That was the whole lesson of what I went through. Yeah, I learned that I can survive. I'm okay, I'm pretty strong, as are you, but of course I'm not really on my own. There's plenty of other people around, and there's plenty of other people around you. There's a lot of us light workers now, and we're all in this together, and we'll all face it together. All right, lots of love. See you soon. Bye-bye.